What's going on, Blues? Welcome back to Life as an Evertonian. This is our pre-match preview for the game this weekend at St James's Park, where Everton take on Newcastle United. A ground where last season, let me add, I thought Everton were absolutely exceptional on the last game of the season. I'm telling you now, if that type of Everton turns up, we've got every chance, Blues. But let's be honest, um, we see a different Everton away from home in retrospect to the Everton that we see at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. So again, I'm in a place where I'm happy we're going away from home before we have the big game, another big game at the Hill Dickinson Stadium against Burnley on Tuesday night. Now, for me, Blues, listen, I feel the frustrations mounting because there is an opportunity for Everton to get into Europe. There is. There could be up to like 8 places, maybe 9. Is it? Definitely 8. I think there is a chance of 8 European places. They're up for grabs, and we're still in the mix. There's results that Everton have let themselves down by, especially at home. If we could change the fortunes there at home, we'd be in a really good position. But we're back on the road. And again, I'm just going to mention, I do feel the frustrations mounting with David Moyes. I feel frustrated as well myself. Sometimes we're seeing the lineup and we're scratching our heads and thinking, what's he doing there? Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to be honest. Moyes has come in and done a really good job. And I've mentioned in the past, will he step down at the end of the season? I think the board are going to give him another year. I really do. I think they're going to give him another year to build. And we are judging David Moyes now. Of course we are. Um, but let's be honest, we need another window where we can potentially bring in a better striker, a better quality of striker. We brought in Tieno Barry. He obviously is the type of signing that he is for the future. I think he's just showing signs that he's getting better and improving. He scored some clinical goals. I thought he really worked hard against Man United, won a lot of headers. We're still going to be patient. Some people can't see it, though. Some people don't see it in Tieno Barry. They just think they've made their mind up. He's not good enough. And you're entitled to that opinion. I think there is a player in there, and I think he will improve. But Moisey, we need new fullbacks. We need those fullbacks at his disposal. He don't fancy Nathan Patterson for whatever reason. I don't know why. Obviously, he's been a player who's been plagued with injuries throughout his Everton career. Seamus Coleman, he's not what he were. Obviously, he's not getting any significant minutes, although he's just come back from another injury. The last time he played against Man United at Old Trafford, came off after 13 minutes. Been very unfortunate with injuries towards the latter stage of his career. He's 37 years of age now. I think he's 37 years of age now. And, fullbacks are evident for Everton to change, and especially another striker in the summer. And let's hope we can bring in some quality. But for me, it is all about getting this lineup right. And this probably won't happen. But for me, I would have Nathan Patterson at right back. I'd have Mikalenko at left back. There's no choice. We played Jared there, but for me, with no choice, because I would love to see Jake O'Brien and Jared Branthwaite in at centre half. Now, I know it won't happen, but that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Keenan Dewsbury-Hall and Jimmy Gardner together as that base in midfield. Jimmy picking up the ball, picking up loose balls, getting on the ball, spreading it wide, bringing fullbacks into play, playing those through balls. I want the legs of Keenan Dewsbury-Hall in there, and I want somebody else in there with legs as well. And, I don't think it works when you've got the balance of Idrissa Gana Gueye and Jimmy in there together. Played, obviously, Jimmy at right back against Man United. Now, we've not seen Merlin Rowe. We've not seen much of Charlie Alcaraz. but we know Harrison Armstrong can do a job, but I think he's better centrally. So maybe Harrison Armstrong in there for me. Um, and then I would go for Tyreek George, wide left. I thought the lad came on against Man United and caused some impact, did some driving runs, got a couple of shots away, got some balls into the box, drove to the byline, looked a threat, got a bit of skill in him. Something for the other fullback to think about. Do you know what I mean? So, and then obviously for me, Adrissa Garner, Iliman and Jai over to the right hand side, where those two can intricately change, swap positions. We've seen that happen in a lot of the fixtures recently. You know, if Iliman and Jai's having a quiet period, switch over to the left, and so on. Harrison Armstrong's done the same. And then Tieno Barry up top. We're there and thereabouts, Blues. It's been a roller coaster season. You know, I think a lot of Evertonians are having a lot of fun going to watch Everton away. I'm not fortunate enough to get tickets away. Went on a few last season. They're really difficult to get. You know, albeit I'm a season ticket holder at Everton, and you know, I pay hospitality prices, and we got we got this link when we paid for our hospitality tickets, like how many away games would we like to get chosen for to go to, and I selected all of them, and I've not had one email for any of those games. So it is disappointing. You've got to know who you know to get the tickets. Let's just say that. But yeah, obviously, I'd love to go away. You know, there've been some really good away trips for Evertonians this season, and long may it continue. I think you know they vastly prefer going to watch Everton away than they do at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. So, you know, we'll welcome this fixture. Newcastle are a great side. Um, let's be honest, they were much more superior than us at Hill Dickinson Stadium. They were much more stronger. They were powerful across the midfield. They won all the loose balls. You know, we were really poor. I got a bit of stick on my Facebook this week where I mentioned that I personally thought Hill Dickinson Stadium, us as fans in there was an improvement against United. I thought the team had improved in a way of nothing in regards to like how we played when we beat Forest, how we played when we beat Brighton, you know, the games that we've won against, you know, we've drawn against West Ham and Villa, etc. And I think obviously we've won 4 times, haven't we, at the Hill Dickinson this stadium. But I mean, I could see an improvement in the game that where we've lost at home. You could see a lot of effort, a lot of spirit and endeavour, a lot of commitment between the lads. And sometimes it can be enough. It can be enough to get you a goal, to get you a result. And on charge of corners with no real quality from those corners. I don't think Everton have been great on set pieces. And we used to be. And we need to try and find that. Do you know what I mean? And obviously that comes from, I don't know, it comes from coaching, it comes from set piece coaches. There's got to be a way where Everton can nick a goal from set pieces. You know, some seriously big lads in our side, 6'5", 6'6", and it can be a good piece of animation to go and get a goal. And that's what I mean, where Everton have got to find different ways of winning. You know, I was very critical of David Moyes against United, where I feel further substitutions could have been made. You know, he got part of the lineup wrong, and you know, yeah, obviously subs came on like Beto and that. He's chucked 2 up top, but I think it needed something a little bit different through the middle of the park. It needed just something else. Charlie Alcaraz, Merlin Rowe, possibly Tyler Diblin. So Blues, let me know your thoughts. Are you looking forward to this fixture? You know, Everton back on the road. Do you think we can go there and get a result? Listen, I'd be happy with 4 points from the next 2 games. I would. I'd be happy to go to Newcastle and get a draw. And we've got to get a big win at home. We really do. We've got to try and find a way of getting a win. But listen, it's all about the Newcastle game this weekend. And yeah, I'm going to leave this one there. See me in glasses. I've been putting it off for a hell of a long time. I don't need glasses, but my eyes were getting worse. So yeah, bit the bullet, and unfortunately, I've got to wear glasses as and when though. Bit of driving, watching TV, obviously doing like my podcast on here. Um, so Blues, yeah, I'm gonna leave this one there. Up the toffees, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Click that bell to turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.